we've done a number of Shakespeares together, including the two films Tempest and Titus. And we were offered the opening of a new theater in Brooklyn. Theater for New Audience was finally getting a building, and we've worked with them for 35 years. So this was the inaugural show. And Midsummer, traditionally, it was written for a wedding. So the idea that this would be a blessing on the house, that you do Midsummer as a blessing on the house, a kind of marriage between a new audience and the theater and the actors. And I wanted to do a show that would really bring in all ages, and I'd never done it. I had done it as a designer many years ago. Elliot had composed, but it was, I did a reading and I really enjoyed it, and I thought this is a great one to open a theater.
All the great Shakespeares you can present, Romeo and Juliet, King Lear, Macbeth, etc., and all compelling. But there's nothing like a Midsummer to give that feeling of blessing and sort of rebirth or birth in this case. And quite often our work is a reaction to the last piece we did. So after Julie did a Lion King, we wanted to do something more gritty, more maybe self-absorbed, intellectual.
Titus.
Dark. It was Titus, and it was Grendel, the opera. So it was a sense of balancing and contrasts.
Titus, I think, was eminently filmable because it's happening now. You look at Syria, you look at whatever just happened in the news last week, and this is forever happening since I learned that play. The kind of violence in our culture internationally, Titus is not over the top. Titus is a reflection of what is happening. Midsummer is unfilmable. And what I mean by that is I've never seen a good movie, quite honestly, of Midsummer, because it is very hard to figure out how to do a spirit world, a fairy world. And because film, normal cinema, you'll almost be required to do visual effects. It's very tricky. In The Tempest, we did Ariel. Ben Whishaw played Ariel, and I liked it, but he was transparent, and it was a visual effect, and I wanted it to be human. The fact is that because this Midsummer is a play, where stylization is completely the norm and acceptable, and you need to do it, then shooting it was not as difficult because you accept the stylization, you accept the makeup, you accept the wires, you accept the children running around as the energy of spirits, of fairies. You don't expect them to get up and jump off the floor with wings. So I think that it's one of the hardest ones. There have been a number of Midsummers, and it's very hard to do. And I liked that we were able to do it this way with a great DP like Rodrigo Prieto, and Elliot got to add music to it, and we got on stage with the cameras, with Steadicams and handheld, as well as all these different positions. So it is cinematic, but it's still kind of this hybrid of theater. We worked together for 5 years and really enjoyed it. I love his work. I love his work that's not my work. I like the movies he's done. I like his ballets, his orchestral. And after 5 years of working together, it was, oh my God, who's that? I mean, really, we fell in love after 5 years. He'll put it a different way.
When you do this much projects, the best thing to have is a bad memory.